this is like 5 minute structure, which
Mhm.
it plays a part, but yeah,
It's kind of
if
weak.
you're a scalper, it's
Yeah.
like great, yeah, you can use it, but man,
I think it's, yeah.
it's you can easily get lost in the weeds in that shit,
And that's the thing. If you're
easily, man.
so this is where I have found myself, and I'm seeing other traders get stuck in it now that they have, a lot of people wanting to live stream their trades. But
Mm-hmm.
they'll see this move down, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
say like, oh yeah, like here's a level here that they're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they bought that level, and they keep trying on 100x with the tight stop, 10% stop. Oh my gosh, like, and they try to enter again and again
Yeah.
on that same level, failing to realize that there's something deeper, or
Mm,
they've not given it time to develop, or even, start to succeed. And just because there's a level there, they're on the 1 minute trying to take all these ladder points. So
yeah, I agree.
I feel
And
bad for them. Like they're not even near trend, like nothing, and they're trying to buy a 1 minute here, expecting it to, come back like
exactly,
this in
that's
a
it.
minute.
That's
They
it.
think every
X.
buy, every 100x buy is polarized moment, 1 minute
Yep.
polarized,
Yep.
and I've been there, I've been trying to long every 1 minute ladder point before, and it just gets you
Mm-hmm.
wrecked in the long run. Just sit on that high time frame with proper risk management, proper,
Yep.
leverage, and let the move develop, and take out the risk when you can. Like,
Yeah.
it's everything you've been teaching, really, that I've,
Yeah.
starting to realize all this stuff. So
Freaking 100%, dude. Spot on. Like that. That's it. Like you just hit the nail on the head, because if it's like you were saying earlier, I was listening to you talk to Ben, like if you get in at the wrong time, which I've been, talking to him about, let's just say we were in this part of the move
that
down,
was messed
right?
up part too.
And let's say that, like, oh, I found this level here, and I'm gonna enter on this. All right, cool. I'm in a short, and you're like, oh well, we didn't close above this. There's a lot of confluence. You got a lot of information that says you're going down, and
Mm-hmm.
you are ultimately, but you're just losing sight of the higher time frames.
As soon as
What
it
you
didn't hold that, I
failed
would have
to,
been scared.
yeah, well, since it never respected it.
Yeah,
Yeah, since it didn't respect, I would even say, really, like, since it didn't respect this, and since it didn't respect this, that's really
mm,
when it dumped down like that, you had a couple of points of opportunity. First of all, because it didn't respect this in here, you had a point to short that. And then since it didn't respect this, you had a point to short that
I
there.
had that.
And it very well may come all the way back up to this, because it didn't respect this on the way down, and it should have.
I
It
agree.
should have respected this, this, and this, and that. You know what I mean? And it did respect this one, and it did respect that one. But there's levels. Look for levels that aren't respected that should be.
Mm-hmm.
Trade them on the other side.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
like you were saying, you got to adjust your expectations, because if we're looking at the 1 hour, I'm not going to like see this level not respected, here, and be like, oh, it wasn't respected. I'm shorting this down to 7K. It's a 1 hour, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
That's
going to
very
take
true.
profits here. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like, that's the first place I'm looking at to take profits. Then at that point in time, I'm going to watch what it does to these highs. When it closes above those, I'm going to watch what it does to the lows that created that.
Yeah,
As soon as it closes below this one, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still good. You know what I mean? So it's
right.
it's kind of that daisy chain
Mm-hmm.
kind of effects that we have to think about. Let me undo. Oops, freaking paintbrush.
That's
I
helpful.
need it. I got
Thanks.
it. Yeah, good. Yeah. And Ben, I think that's a big thing in which like you've struggled with that we all do is you're either in too early or you're in too late. And that's what they want you to do. They're baiting you. They're always baiting. They're always enticing you. They want you to FOMO. They want you to FOMO in too late or FOMO into, you know what I mean? And there's a perfect time, but just because you miss the perfect time on one time frame, it doesn't mean that there's not a perfect time on another time frame. But sometimes you have to be patient because, like, if we look at, for instance, if we look at last thing we'll look at, look for good.
What if you don't, I don't know. I just feel like when you're not using a high leverage, you're very patient for that, for the moves to develop and for you to actually properly have an entry. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can be. It depends on your
Definitely less
personality. I
stressful.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking 100%. I think it really depends on who you are. You know what your mindset is. What your available time is. I mean, so many variables, right? I'm just looking for. I'm trying to cherry pick a spot here. All right, here. This is a good one. So, concentrate. That's what I'm saying right here. You could have had this level, which is a 5-minute little micro range in here, and front run or ran. I don't know. Right there is the wick right there, and you could have shorted it, right? And you could have been like, oh, okay, yeah, we're moving down. Like this is it. We brought these highs, but then we lost this change of character, blah blah blah. But if you look a little closer, we don't really even like wick the low that was really important, which was this and this, right? And even more importantly, this one. So while this is not a bad level to short, it's just we cannot take this trade and short this expecting it to go down here. Even though that's where it's going, we can't short here and expect it to go there. If we want to short here, we're late for one. And we need to remove risk as soon as possible, which would have been here. I would have removed like risk right there if I got in there. You know, if I didn't, you see what happens. It holds, it builds, and then sweeps on a little bit higher time frame. And then ultimately sweeps again on the low, comes up, holds that, and then it's gone. You know what I mean? So you were right all along thinking it was going down, but you just were too late or too impatient. So you should have been in here, or you should have waited for this right here, this move. You should have waited for it to take those lows out, come up, reject off of this and not close above this, then find the level in here and get in on that, and then bam, that's the perfect entry. You could argue and say, oh, this is the perfect entry. I mean, yeah, but that's tantamount to gambling, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and sitting in that for how long? You know?
Yeah,
and could have made
losing
multiple trades within
exactly.
It. Could have taken profits multiple times.
That's the perfect entry right there. Bam.